Friends, it's that special day where you get to do a theme park for the first time ever. And it's one I have been dreaming of visiting for over a decade. We are officially inside the park that Walt Disney came through in 1951, 4 years before Disneyland would be constructed and open to the public. But this is where Walt was visually seen taking notes because he was recording his thoughts on how he thought one of these, something like this, should be built back in America. He didn't know where, didn't have a name, didn't have it all fully fleshed out, but he saw this and said, this is what an amusement park should be. At least that's what he told Lillian. Now, some things just aren't gonna make sense, and I'm totally cool with that. It's that vibe of exploring everything for the very first time with a little twist of cultural difference. You can see the city peeking on the inside of the park, but it doesn't really matter that much just because everything that's designed around it is so aesthetically pleasing. Like this huge circular building that's kind of reminiscent of the buildings in Chicago, but way more modern and industrial. Doesn't really affect it that we're basically just in one giant city block that is Tivoli Gardens. When this is your next door neighbor, I don't think that it matters that you have leaking sightlines because everything around Tivoli is absolutely gorgeous. Tivoli Gardens opened in 1843, making it one of the world's oldest theme parks. And directly behind me is its version of the Taj Mahal. This is what inspired Walt Disney to build Sleeping Beauty Castle inside of his park. He loved that this place had a central icon, but he also loved that it was perfectly manicured, landscaping perfection, and he liked that it was a place you simply just wanted to be. At the time, all of the theme parks back home in America were completely trashy, full of carnies, not a place where you just wanted to hang out. Walt Disney came here and instantly caught on that this was a place made for both dreamers and people that love vibes. Before we get too deep into our tour, if you're new here, let me explain. My name is Brickey. I am a certified Disneyland expert by myself. I've spent the better part of a decade completely studying not only Walt Disney, but Disneyland. I come from the world of art and design, and I cover the Disney theme parks through the perspective of a designer. So therefore, we're going to break down Tivoli Gardens on my first visit ever through the lens of not only somebody who has been to Disneyland over 1,000 times, but is also somebody who is a award-winning designer in the space of graphic design and illustration. So, art, composition, theme parks, it's all the things I love, and I'm in a place that I already know that I love. So let's take a lap around Tivoli Gardens and look at it from the lens of how it inspired Walt Disney, but also look at it through the lens as a designer, as somebody who can kind of break down why this place is just so magical. So thank you so much for showing up. Let's take our lap. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be an emotional one. So Walt Disney absolutely loved this Taj Mahal type structure, and it inspired him. But there's a secondary inspiration that came from a lot of Tivoli Gardens, aside from all the immaculate landscaping, and it was that it was adorned in millions of lights. You see Main Street USA at Disneyland and Walt Disney World and every park that would follow is adorned by popcorn lights because it looks so amazing at Tivoli Gardens, but also it ties into the Disneyland Main Street USA story because around that time in Buffalo, New York at a World's Fair would be the first time that America would see a city adorned in lights. So it not only was inspired by here, but it fits into the Main Street USA design motif. Worlds are colliding. I'm in my zone, baby. Let's keep going. And if we break this down as a design, this is a berm. This is an architectural berm that keeps the outside of Copenhagen from leaking into the inside in the heart of Tivoli Gardens. I don't know what the story on this fountain is, but it's absolutely beautiful. and just a little quiet spot. So from the grand entryway, as we work our way into more of the heart of the theme park, you'll notice that we're going downhill. They actually built the park recessed down below the street level, so the blocks around it act as a berm, again, an inspiration over at Disneyland, keeping the outside world from the inside of Tivoli Gardens, Tivoli magic. Is that a term? We're gonna run with it. But like I pointed out earlier, even when the outside world leaks, it doesn't matter because the outside world is such great neighbors to have. Beth, there is a windmill with a Santa hat on. Oh. Look at that. What a holiday collab. Santa hat on a windmill with little hearts piercing through the actual windmill wings, shutters. Now it may not be the Plaza Inn or the Jolly Holiday, but look at these little cozy seats under the umbrella lights right at the edge of the main thoroughfare. Wintry goodness. And you'll notice another Walt Disney inspiration. There's a mountain here, and it has a roller coaster inside of it. Well, a roller coaster that wraps around it and I think pierces through it. I believe this is one of the world's oldest roller coasters, built somewhere around 1914, 1915. And that's my wife, Beth, if you're new here. Now, just like that, we've already come up to a secondary entry and exit that is on the back of the Taj Mahal-like structure. But look at this. Look at this scrim that wraps the building. That is so cool, and that's also going to lower sound. These little burglars next to the luggage area or lockers is killing me. We're now entering this area, Smogen. I'm not going to get anything right. It's a little downhill slope, which looks like it has like carnival games, food, like it's very old school carnival through here. Real tight corridor, stuff on each sides, all these different conflicting colors and patterns, like lots and lots of details. Every 10 to 15 feet, a different little stand, a different little shop. It looks amazing, even though it's themed after like a traditional carnival. It has a very, very fantastic vibe to it. Let's explore the Smogen. Even themed manhole covers like you'll find in all the Disney parks. Oh my God. These flat, hand-painted backgrounds on this skee ball is amazing. And then, just to make it even more weird, piano keys out front. And then the lights that they have that are creating archways down this path are pretty decorative. Way more than just a regular light bulb. And we have our first projection board being used as the backdrop in what looks to be a very elaborate claw machine. And just like you would find in an old school carnival, they have the funhouse mirrors, which used to stumble Superman a lot when we were kids. Look at this shooting gallery. Oh, no, you can't shoot Father Christmas. Sierra Nevada. Good to see some cowboys again. Look at this illustration of this cat. So this alleyway runs on the back side of their mountain roller coaster. And then look at this sign. This back alleyway is just so much stacked design. So if we break down what they're doing, they're using the back side of the roller coaster that is enclosed in rock work, a very Disney move. And then this little alleyway is tucked up behind it. So therefore you have perfect sight lines going down the hill. And as I said, the park is actually recessed below the street level, therefore creating a inverse berm around the park. And for those of you who don't know, Disneyland has a berm, which is a mound of dirt that goes around the entire park. It stands about 1.5 stories tall, 15 to 20 feet. And therefore, Walt's idea was to always keep people inside of his park and to never see out. That seems to be a magic trick that Tivoli is embracing hardcore, and I'm loving it. Here is a wild cultural collision moment. We have this, and then we have this. Little Christmas Mickey. Good to see you, bud. The graphic design and illustration from all of these Midway games are so good. It takes something that can be really, really kind of trashy and carnival-like and just gives it a upscale feeling to it. And there is bizarrely carousel horses on the side of the mountain. First thoughts?
I'm so excited. I'm so happy. It's like if Christmas was a place.
Do you see the influence that Walt Disney saw?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. It's just like, it's overwhelming.
Not that crowded?
Not that crowded, not over here. I mean, we'll see as the day goes on.
We haven't made it that far though.
We have not. And I've probably taken 1,000 photos.
Beth says, how do you know when to stop taking photos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, these are the lights that are hanging in the archway.
These?
Yeah.
Look at this Christmas ornament.
Oh, it's the front entryway.
Oh, we're getting that.
And another familiar face, the lady from the sailing ship Columbia. Not really, but close. So behind me is a very interesting spinner ride where you'll see a couple of things. Not only are the ride vehicles going up and down as they do their circular motion, but the interior waves are moving back and forth, and then the set piece on the interior spins around and animates as well. So there's lots of different little pieces of motion, upscaling, which was, kind of a carnival ride, but each of the vehicles looks handcrafted. They all look different, giving each little Viking their own unique exploration. This thing is pretty cool. Are they Vikings or are they pirates here? Look how adorable this little building is. And each one is just nicer than the next. Man, the light bulbs being on everything and inspiring Walt Disney, that was not overhyped whatsoever. Beth was also commenting how they've just basically shoved a Christmas tree in every imaginable spot that they could. Another interesting design detail is if you look at this facade, it has a little bit of that Disney magic that we've seen recreated out at Epcot and Disneyland, where about every 10 feet, the facade kind of folds and reshapes, making one little building seem much larger than what it really is. And then just directly behind where we are standing is this little accordion of, looks like it's maybe 1 or 2 locations, but look at that. Every 6, 8 feet, it changes shapes and becomes a different little building than the one that it sits next to. I love this extension of sightlines. And speaking of, here's what I've been talking about pretty much the whole time. So the rail that you see all around the backside of this attraction, that is where the sidewalk is. So the street is just on the other side of this berm, which we're recessed down into. So the buildings that you see over the horizon line that perfectly match where we're standing inside of the theme park, that's not a part of Tivoli. That's a part of Copenhagen. That's how beautifully this park blends in with the city around it, which is one of the things that makes Disneyland so fascinating, is that when you go there, the outside world disappears. But this park, being inside of a major, major city, it has to learn how to cooperate with the city all around it. And it doesn't ruin the magic or the sightlines at all. This is a fantastical design. This place is beautiful. So there is a city bus right over the horizon, just to give you an idea of how recessed down on the ground we are. This little courtyard is just breathtaking. If you look at the little area where their cast member operates the ride, it reminds you a lot of the little buildings outside of Casey Jr. and the Storybook Canal boats. These ride vehicles are so beautiful. Each one is a different character. They look very, very handcrafted, even though I can't say that they are, but just look how beautiful they are. And a peacock just walked by. That's wild. On further inspection, look how cute these dividers are on the bench. And by the way, that is the first piece of trash I've seen out of place since I've been here. And then more of those signature light bulbs that they have everywhere. And what should be an ugly little corner of the park is literally a theme park masterpiece. Oh, whoa, those are like flying eagles or some sort of birds that these people are on. No thanks. No thanks. No thanks at all. Wow. Oh my God, that is so wild looking.
That person's screaming. A few points that they just stop, like upside down the nose.
Yeah.
Like that.
So check this out. When we were down in the Smogen, or the Smogen, whatever it's called, that little alley, we were down so deep and the sightlines were so tall that we couldn't see the building right across the street. That's exactly why that was put there, to hide that. Which doesn't even look that bad, but that is masterful theme park design. This skill crane called the Big One is not joking. Look at the size of this. That is wild. And I'm wondering, is this good luck in Danish? The attraction behind me looks to be called that. Astronomen? It's very cool in that it has lots of kinetic energy. You have the fountain at the bottom, reminiscent of Dumbo back home. You have this attraction going around, and also, I believe, the passengers picking their own heights. But then you have this roller coaster that zips around overhead, just making an absolutely beautiful kinetic energy attraction. And many of the attractions here are reminiscent of Paris's Tomorrowland, where they have that sort of steampunk futurism attached to it. You know, not the world's fanciest rides, but just so well crafted and placed in their environment, it makes something that would normally just be, you know, carnival, but it pluses it up. And the way that they all kind of move together makes a lot of off-the-shelf attractions really feel unique and special. I'm loving this place. It is fantastic. And really, this is only the first sort of leakage of non-exciting facade entering into the park. You know, there's this more of a commercial looking building that just sits right across from it. So that's the first time I've kind of noticed a bad sight line. And that continues over when you go underneath this building, in which is sort of an old school arcade. Not like a video arcade, but an architectural arcade. Pretty interesting. Hopefully here in a second, I'll figure out what kind of problem this architecturally is solving. So here's the back side of that building that wraps around, that creates that walk-through arcade. On the other side of the tunnel, Beth is in love with the donut factory, and she can't even eat donuts. We've now found something that looks a little bit Small World-ish. All right, we are doing our first ride.
First, a tale of a soldier who finds gold, spends it all, and steals a tinderbox. Then falls in love with a princess and causes great trouble, helped by 3 big dogs, but gets to be king.
Whoa!
Wow.
Gossip! One loose little feather may easily grow into 5 dead hens. There's no doubt about it.
This is amazing.
This is awesome.
The chickens tell the owls, and the owls tell the doves, and the doves tell the bats. And she thinks she's too fine, and bounces too high. You know she'll come to a sad end.
Wow.
I'm sliding everywhere.
Whoa.
A lovely butterfly helps Thumbelina sail away from Mother Toad and her ugly son. Many adventures lie ahead. I know this because my friend the swallow sang to me the whole story. Thumbelina saved the swallow's life, you know. In return, he introduced her to the King of Flowers, and they fell in love. The little mermaid left her beautiful undersea home to see the world. she came to love a human, and so made a bad bargain. You see, she loved a young man whose life she saved, and asked the witch for legs so she could be with him. But, as often happens, she could not have everything she wanted. Now we come to the story of the most steadfast tin soldier. This handsome tin soldier loved a ballerina. While the other toys played, he only looked at her. The soldier had a great adventure involving a paper boat, a sewer, a large rat, and a big fish. But through it all, he stood straight and tall, as a soldier should. Some people believe flattery, others praise stuff they cannot see. So it was with the emperor's new clothes. All through the autumn and winter, he was lonely and sad. Then he met some beautiful swans and discovered that he too was a swan. Nature always sets things right. The little match girl lights a match to warm her hands and dreams of a warm house with a Christmas tree and roast goose. Soon she'll be far away in a place where there's no cold, no hunger. Can an artificial nightingale sing as beautifully as a real one? Only the real one could bring tears to the emperor's eyes with his song. Once, a wicked demon invented a distorting mirror which fell to earth in a million pieces, falling into people's eyes and into their hearts, which turned to ice. This happened to a boy named Kai, who then was taken away by the Snow Queen. Little Gerda, Kai's friend, bravely set out to find him. A friendly crow gave advice, and a swift reindeer carried her northward as she searched for the Snow Queen's castle. Kai and Gerda are safely home, but watch out. The wicked demons are still causing mischief. And the chimney sweep decided to run away from her disapproving grandfather. But the world is so big! Still, the story has a happy ending. This is how it feels to fly through the night in a magical flying trunk into this castle with wonderful gifts. But the princess scorned them and refused to see the prince. In disguise, he got a job as imperial swineherd and made musical pots and such that so charmed the princess that she kissed him. But discovered by the emperor, they were banished. Out with you! The prince said, "Thou wouldst kiss a swineherd for a musical pot and not have a prince? Or how do you know when a young lady is a princess? Why, place a pea under 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds. If the lady says the bed was lumpy, she's a true princess." It's not always the one who can recite the dictionary or knows embroidery who wins the lady. Thank you for joining me in my flying trunk. I always enjoy sharing my fairy tales. But you know, life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale of them all.
This was amazing.
Beth, I'm going to say something I didn't think I was going to say today or ever say. That dark ride we just did, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's better than It's a Small World.
It is my favorite dark ride I've ever been on, I think, in that category of dark rides.
It's in the small world genre, you know, a fairy tale or little kids dark ride, but it has like Spaceship Earth vibes in that you're corkscrewing up into a building and then coming back down, which makes the way that you discover all the vignettes completely unique. Like riding it for the first time with our cameras out, I didn't know where to look. Instantly, as soon as we got off, we put our cameras away and we had to ride it a second time.
Yeah, I was like, let's go back on. It was amazing. And every time you looked, you saw something you didn't see the first time or in the corner. It was really cool.
And the character builds, the little vignettes, like some of them are so tall. We each rode it sitting in the two different seats and you get a different perspective.
Yeah, different viewpoint each way. And you realize even growing up in America, how much influence Hans Christian Andersen had on our childhood, movies, storybooks, like cartoons. He's everywhere, and being able to see it here in his home country and just with the people that grew up with his stories, it's like even more special.
It was wild.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, we definitely will. That might be the only ride I do, but that is unreal. That was just a surprise I didn't see coming, and that made me happy that I did some written research, but I didn't watch any POVs or any videos like that. Like, I had no idea what we were getting into, and I have that amazing attraction high right now.
Same. Let's do it again.
Number three, baby. This is so beautiful. Wow. Beth and I are both kind of speechless on how beautiful this little courtyard area is here. So that's the building that we had to walk underneath. And man, does that thing look so cool. A little bit of sunlight peeking through there. Look at all those hearts in that tree. Wow. And there's the Ice Princess, who I want to say was the absolute best figure on that dark ride that we just rode. I am loving the all red Christmas tree, but this building is so awesome. I have figured out the vibes that this place has given me. As I've been researching and falling in love with the world of theme parks and old World's Fairs, this place has the DNA of being an old school amusement park. Because, I mean, obviously it's one of the oldest ones in the world. I know that's a dumb statement, but let me follow it up real quick. Back home in Louisville, Kentucky, there was a theme park that was already come and gone before I was able to go to it. It was called Fountain Ferry. At least that's what my family called it, but I don't think that was the official name because my family's a little wild. And I've seen all of these images, like black and white photos from old magazines and newspapers, where you see just bits and pieces of what old theme parks, carnivals, world fairs look like. But today is the first time of getting to not only see it all in color, but to walk through it and experience it. That is the magic that I'm feeling today, that I have literally traveled back in time, because this park still very much feels old school in its construction, its design, and all the different architecture nodes and the way that things flow together. This is something I have always dreamed about, and I didn't know it was going to hit me on so many different levels. It's like a dream today. It's like going to Disneyland for the first time all over again. And that is something that I've always known I would never get back. And today, I rediscovered that magic. I always love a good double-decker carousel. So one of the things that really inspired Walt Disney is how this was a theme park, and it had a real park vibe to it. And I was so excited to find this area right here, because I knew that this was here when he came. I don't know what else was here when Walt came in 1951, but I knew that it was this area right here that kind of made it feel Central Park, theme park, amusement park, like a lot of different creative ideas all coming together. So to be in this part right when the sun is getting ready to set, it's very easy to see Walt's inspiration. Like, one of my curiosities was, would I be able to come here and feel inspired, but would I also be able to see it through his lens, through studying the man, studying Disneyland, and his whole idea of being, I think, the world's greatest creative director. And you can feel it the most right here. Because if his inspiration was, this is a place that you just simply wanted to be, this is a spot that you're very happy when you get here. This is unreal. There's a very Walt Disney inspired idea, dry docking a ship in your amusement park. But does this one serve delicious tuna sandwiches? This attraction is wild because people use gravity to go down, but then they use some sort of device, just pull it on the rope to work themselves back up to the top.
It's like a rope. It's a rope pulley.
That is so cool.
It'd be cooler if they affected the person next to them.
We have just hit golden hour, which is kind of long here. It's like 90 minutes. Going to try to see as much as we can while the sun's up. And just to give you a heads up, we've been doing this for 4 hours and we still haven't seen the entire park. So for an over-exaggerated city block, there's a lot to discover. We are officially halfway through the golden hour and our anticipation is building for the magic of Tivoli Gardens at night. Because that's literally when it really shines. The inspiration of Tivoli Gardens keeps going though in the Disney storyline because when they built Shanghai Disneyland, they came up with the idea of doing a Tivoli Gardens environment in front of the castle, which that allowed them to create a whole park atmosphere, put attractions in front of the castle, which had really never been done before. The castle was always the entryway into the magic. But at Shanghai, to mix things up and to do something that was distinctly Disney, but uniquely Chinese, they decided to do a park area like all of this right in front of their castle, which that's another thing on my list that I can't wait to get to, which when I do get to that park, it'll be even more magical because one of my favorite things about all the castle parks are the hubs. And Shanghai seems to have the most fantastic hub of all of them, and it's because it was inspired by exactly where I'm standing. The story, the inspiration, it just keeps going and going. That's how art works. Each artist is inspired by the next, and coming back to the prequel of Disneyland today has just been a dream come true. The anticipation for sundown.
It's awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be colder / more awesomer.
What are you drinking?
Mulled wine, aka glog, 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 glog.
This is your first of the visit?
First of the whole entire European trip. I've been waiting for that special perfect moment, and it was here and now, and it's warmed me from the inside.
I want to really quickly thank you because when we booked this trip,
Yes.
well over a year ago,
Yes.
I said, hey, I'll go on this cruise, but if we're going to be this close, do you mind if we go to this theme park called Tivoli Gardens that inspired Disneyland?
And I said, let's go.
You said, let's go.
Because I've always wanted to go to Copenhagen. So I was like, let's go.
And I think before we got to the park today, you were kind of like, you didn't know what you're going to get into.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea how big it was. I had no idea how awesome it would be. I knew it was going to be Christmassy, but it's even better.
It won you over pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, I walked in. I said, "We're not going back to the hotel for a break. We're here all day."
Yeah, the original plan was like, we'll go for a couple hours, maybe go back to our hotel room, then come back for the nighttime.
I don't want to miss a second of being in here. It's so amazing.
It's one of the best Christmas places I've ever been.
So far, and we have a lot of Christmasing to do on this trip. So far, I mean, I like full on cried when we walked into the park because it was the most Christmassy anything I've ever seen. I love it.
Same, girl. Same.
Same, girl. Let's go Christmas. Come on.
We took a dinner break, and now we're doing a victory lap in darkness. Don't know how much I'm going to film. I'm trying to soak it in. But our goal is to work around the theme park part of the park first, let the crowds kind of die down, and then once we've done a complete outer lap, then just hang out in the Christmas market area until the park closes. It's 6 o'clock, park closes at 10, thinking that the locals and the kids will kind of start to roam out of here around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, so we can have an hour of the Christmas markets when they're not totally slammed. That would be awesome. But let me tell you, I'm shooting tons and tons of B-roll. I'll show you a little bit, but I'm also just kind of like in bizarre holiday travel, Walt Disney nostalgia euphoria. And I think we're going to check out this ride. It looks like it might be a water ride, but I'm also hoping that it's another dark ride. Want to see if they can go 2 for 2 on some dark ride magic.
There's no instructions.
There's some instructions.
Got it. Got it.
Are you shooting those lights?
Yeah.
Oh.
If I get wet, I swear to God.
What is this, dude?
Why are we shooting at these guys?
No
Look at him.
story.
What's
just-
his animal? What's his animal? What's his species?
What's his animal?
What's his animal? Is he a bear? Like, what are we shooting at these for? Just for a project? Project. They're like, kids like to do stuff. There's like, is that Schmeagle? Oh no, I think it's a bear. Oh, look at this bare foot.
Barefoot.
Bare feet?
Barefoot. Is it a giant? What
is happening?
We're in a shaft.
Is that a...
Is
it a dragon? I think it's a dragon.
Dragon?
Is it a giraffe? What is
no,
this?
it is a
Land Before Time?
sexy dragon. Oh, she just sprayed me.
I just don't know why I'm shooting stuff.
Are we already done?
Huh? No.
Backstage.
This is great. I don't know what's happening. Like, oh, let's throw a lantern here.
Oh, hold on. Big showroom.
I'm not playing the laser game. I want to enjoy the ride. Look at this! Look at this! It's a dragon! Look at everything in here! Why would you want to shoot stuff? What's happening?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I swear to God.
Oh, no!
No! Oh, thank God!
They got us.
I was like, are you kidding? This little working bears.
That's a big
This
diamond.
feels like what the Seven Dwarfs train is trying to be. Or, no, did better, let's be honest. Whoa, it's dark in here.
Yeah.
Gemstones.
Just gemstones in a box.
There's gotta be a reason for it. You know, the Seven Dwarfs is the same thing. There's gemstones that they're digging for. Whoa.
Ooh. There's a sheet. Projection sheet.
Technology is a little different than Disney.
Yeah.
Look at this star. Oh, they're
No,
gemstones.
diamonds. Okay.
I think they're bears that are trying to get gemstones. But a dragon. Is the dragon their friend?
I have no idea what's happening.
Are those bears?
I don't know. It's got a
And
newspaper.
that's it. I love this. Take a look at your ride photo. Okay.
There's a couple barrels.
That was incredible. Absolutely amazing.
That was they put all their budget in that one room. That was the weirdest ride I've ever been on.
Yep. That was weird. I love that there's no concern for safety here.
No, it's just figure it out, dummy.
Yeah, get your kid on there. I don't care. Not a ride. Wait, what's happening?
You're steering, dude.
Well, why are we going right when I'm turning left?
Well, boats don't turn on a dime.
The thing that I'm just not sure if there's a gas pedal. Oh, look behind me.
Wow, this is awesome.
So awesome. It's so hard to just drive this. It's like you're just...
So the way this works is whenever your boat number comes up, it is your turn to go in. But I am happy to report this is a theme park boat that you are actually
driving. Beth is steering us right now.
Attempting to. Yo ho, yo ho, pirate. We're gonna crash into the...
Whatever it is, I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Yo ho. All right, spin around. Get that.
I'm driving, do not be a side driver. A side
There. Ah, there it is.
Am I even in your video?
Yeah.
Cutting me out? Uh-oh. I've been trying so hard to stay out of the...
Today has been so absolutely awesome. And one of the special things that happened today is that I'll never be able to go back to Disneyland in its opening years. As much as I want to, unless Disney does something really, really awesome with virtual reality or augmented reality, we're never going to get to go back to the opening days of Disneyland. Hi, Beth. But today has been like getting to experience what some of that must have been like. There's also a dash of original World's Fair type vibes in here. Like, the nostalgia is amazing for a place that I've never been before, but it just exudes nostalgia as far as, you know, live entertainment, theme park entertainment goes. I mean, I don't know how many of you will ever be in Denmark. I know Copenhagen's off the beaten path for many of us. But if there's ever a way you're in Europe, do exactly what I did and just add on the extra flight and come out. I know that might not be easy for everybody, but if you can make it work, you will not regret it. My heart is full, and I absolutely have fallen in love with this place. And I thought it would just be one and done. I can't say now that I would be one and done because I can't imagine not trying to fit this in if I'm halfway close to being here. So, little food for thought. Absolutely unreal experience. And I have to thank all of you guys for helping make this possible. Because a year and a half ago when we booked this trip, I said, you know, maybe YouTube will be looking like a real thing for me by then. And so I took the leap of faith to add on all these extra dates and all these different things that are kind of part of my Disney bucket list, Walt Disney bucket list. And I think my biggest takeaway is that Disneyland was inspired by this place, and I think Disneyland could learn a lot from this place. It could maybe use a little refresher on how to make nostalgic magic moments, because this place has just got them everywhere you look. Okay, this was old-timey car thoughts. Thank you. And that was my whip, by the way. All right, friends, that is a wrap for Beth and I for our first time ever at Tivoli Gardens.
This was amazing.
First time ever?
First time of many?
I would sure hope so. It was absolutely everything I thought it would be and so much more.
This was the most perfect Christmas day, the most perfect way to kick off a Christmas trip. Amazing.
Yeah,
there
it
are
was
no
awesome.
words.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow in Amsterdam.
Woo!